Welcome to rSlash Relationships, where OP's boyfriend is furious at her because she can't lactate on command. Our next Reddit post is from Throwaway My Life is a Mess. My boyfriend is a bit of a loner, but it's never really been a problem before. We both love video games, and to him, I'm quite a catch because it's not often you find a pretty girl who likes games. Now, that statement can be taken a lot of different ways, but it looks like a compliment to me, so... Most of my boyfriend's life experiences come from the internet, which is fine, I guess, but he really doesn't have that balance. Since we started dating, I have been dragging him around with me and taking him to try new things. We've had a couple obstacles, periods of time where he spent literally no attention on me and just played video games. And I had to convince him that smelling nice isn't just a capitalist scheme, lol. So I'm a 19-year-old girl, and I was ready to lose my virginity to this guy. I really love him, and overall he's an amazing guy. He was also a virgin, so we were comfortable to just mess around. The day after we did it, he's all standoffish and pissed at me. I ask why, and he asks me if I was just pretending to be into it last night. I say no. I said, I was wet, you saw that, and I love you. And then, God, I'm so pissed about this. He says, you're lying. If you were actually horny, then milk would come out of your boobs. I just can't express how infuriating, awful, and angry that made me. Seriously? Like, he's never really been a part of reality, but for F's sake, I'm in stunned silence and he's like, guess it's true you have nothing to say. I thought you weren't like other women, but you're all the same. I thought you loved me, blah, blah, effing blah. Like, I don't know. I love this man, but he's also this bumbling idiot who I have to deal with, and it's just awful. Evidently, he's only experienced intercourse from adult videos. And he never thought that this was out of the ordinary because he's never talked to girls and he only has brothers. Additionally, people that he used to roleplay with online would say this happened, so he took it as fact. I tried so hard to explain this to him, but it was like talking to a brick wall. He claimed that I was gaslighting him, that I'm an abusive girlfriend, that I'm gonna cheat on him, and he was so upset. He truly believed that I'm this evil B-word. We haven't talked. We've both been crying. His friends are all yes men. I think his friends may have convinced him that this was a fact because they're angry that he wasn't chatting with them as much. They don't like me, so it's not hard to believe. I was this bigoted outsider in their eyes who was flexing on them by going for walks and joining clubs, I guess. He always seemed to brush off their remarks though. I'm stuck. This is just so stupid, so ridiculous. I don't want my first relationship to end because my boyfriend was surprised that I'm not one of his hentai girls. I love every part of him besides his obliviousness, and seeing him look me in the eye like I've stabbed him, say that I'm a dirty cheater because of his stupid addiction just hurts. I'm pissed and upset and angry, and I hate that I hate this right now. It's just such a stupid idea, like why would I lactate during intercourse? I want my boyfriend that I love back, and dumping him because liquid didn't dribble out of my boobs is just embarrassing. Also, OP posted an update that apparently she went over to a girlfriend's place afterwards because she was really upset, and she and her girlfriend hooked up. So, looks like she's moved on to greener pastures, so to speak. Our next Reddit post is from Nana Day. I'm a 33-year-old woman and my boyfriend is 37, and we've been together for about a year. He works in my city, but spends weekends at his apartment in another city and occasionally works from home, so we don't fully live together. Recently, he shaved his head at my place and clogged my sink. He cleaned up most of it, but didn't remove everything, so I had to use a strong dissolver to fix it. Later, I brought it up calmly and suggested using a sink blocker next time. He became defensive, claiming that my brother, who's been staying with me for the past 5 weeks and who was about to leave, was partly to blame because he saw a strand of my brother's hair in the bathroom. I told him that one strand of hair from my brother can't compare to him shaving his head and not fully cleaning up. Suddenly, my boyfriend flipped. He accused me of always taking my family's side, pushed my head, and told me to leave the bathroom. When I refused, he spat in my face. I was so shocked that I spat back, and then he called me a B-word. He angrily pushed me again, demanding that I leave the bathroom. But I told him it's my apartment, and I'll stay wherever I want, so we left. Shortly after, he texted to apologize, saying that it was a mistake. This isn't the first time that he called me a B-word, even though I've told him that it's not okay. I usually avoid confrontation, but we've been arguing a lot lately. I even suggested therapy to help with our communication skills, but he's not open to it. I'm honestly struggling to understand how things escalated so quickly and why his reaction was so extreme because we weren't even shouting at each other. Yeah, OP, this relationship is over. Obviously, the spitting is really bad on its own. That's a really strange reaction. But to me, the most dangerous thing about this post is how quickly he escalated. You were calm, you weren't really even criticizing him, you were just giving a suggestion, and he immediately escalates to something so derogatory and violent. It's like, huh? So if his impulse control is this bad, what's stopping him from just slapping you next time or stabbing you next time, you know? Our next Reddit post is from Throwaway Natted. My 24-year-old girlfriend thinks that she's an Instagram influencer, and it's driving me crazy. When I met my girlfriend 3 years ago, I knew very quickly that she was addicted to Instagram. She was posting maybe 3 to 6 times every single day, and barely an hour of her day wasn't in her story. This didn't really bother me at first. I actually found it kinda hot, mainly because all the pictures of food and buildings and clothes became pictures of me. I felt, I guess, a little like a celebrity. She had 6,000 followers back then, I think. Other than that, it's been a great and fulfilling relationship. But this addiction has been like a tree root splitting us apart. Every day is punctuated by Insta time where I'm not supposed to distract her. She gets up at bizarre times to post and maximize engagement, which throws off her and, by extension, my sleeping habits. She takes 2 hours to get ready for a 20-minute shopping trip, which is then stretched into over an hour for Instagram content. It's ridiculous. We've squabbled about it before, obviously, and she brings up things about me that irritate her. For the sake of balance, I'm extremely messy and, frankly, just plain lazy. I'm trying to work on it. But recently, she stunned me during an argument. It was just routine stuff. I snapped at her to put her phone down and pay me some attention. And she gave me a horrible stare and said, "This is my career. If you don't like it, get out." So the thing is, it's absolutely not her career. She desperately wants it to be, but so do probably millions of others. She's been unemployed and claiming benefits for 2 years. But I didn't realize that all that time that she was ignoring me for Instagram, she was actually trying to make money from it. I know she made about 20 euros about 6 weeks ago for advertising some makeup startup, but that was basically for a friend of a friend. Essentially, this is draining me to death, and it's gone from being flattering to intrusive. Before you say it, yes, I'm probably gonna break up with her. But the thing is, she's got a really good heart, and I genuinely want to help her, even if the relationship doesn't survive. Is there anything I can do to convince her to put the phone down and be a good, attentive girlfriend and actually get a job that helps pay our bills? I would personally say my number one piece of advice to someone who wants to be an influencer is don't quit your day job. I did the math on that in case you're curious, and $20 over the course of 6 weeks comes out to about 8 cents per hour, assuming she's working 40 hours a week. So here's the deal. Me and my girlfriend have been together for a little under 3 years and have been living together for a few months. I'm a 25-year-old guy and she's a 22-year-old girl. My girlfriend takes college classes and works part-time. I finished college 2 years ago, quickly got hired by the company that I did my internship at, and within a year, I got a promotion and a large pay raise. And I'm now making roughly $150,000 a year, while she makes $20K a year. Now, she moved in with me a few months ago into the place that I bought, so I pay nearly all the costs: mortgage, electricity, water, etc. The only things that she pays herself are non-essentials like Spotify, phone bill, Netflix, and so forth. Recently, we got into a huge fight where she demanded that we pool our money together and spend what's left after essential costs together. Whereas currently, I pay basically every essential and my own stuff, and I use a bit to enjoy myself and put the rest into my savings. She seems to be jealous that I get to spend a lot more, which is not really true since after monthly costs, I put the majority into my savings account. In my eyes, she already gets an easy ride, and honestly, she's just awful with the money that she does have. She spends it on garbage like stupidly expensive clothes and then complains that she's broke at the end of the month. So what do? I hate to put money in the way of our relationship, but if I'm honest, I'm questioning my relationship as there's no way that I'm going to let her essentially spend my salary on stupid stuff. To me, the real problem with this girlfriend isn't that she wants to pool your money, because if you guys get married, then that's effectively what's going to happen anyways the second you do get married. The real issue here is that she wants to pool the money so that she can immediately spend it, which either means she's about to dump you and she wants a payday before she leaves, or she just doesn't know how to manage her money and she will leech your income until the day you die. Either way, red flag, my dude. Our next Reddit post is from Feeling Care. I'm a 23-year-old woman and my boyfriend is 28. He got me a huge surprise gift that I think ruined my Christmas. We've been together for 3 years, but this has been the first time that we're financially stable enough to actually get a Christmas tree, a good haul of gifts, and decorate our apartment. This was always my favorite time of year as a kid. I grew up in kind of an abusive family where I was forced to be an adult at a young age to take care of my siblings while my parents constantly worked and broke up and threw each other out. But everything just seemed happy around the holidays. Me and my boyfriend both live across the country from our families and see them a few times a year for a week or so at a time. We budgeted enough to splurge a little this year, and we both started good jobs at the start of the year that gave us both bonuses. Together, we spent $1,500 on clothes, shoes, cologne and perfume, things for our apartment like a rice cooker, new bedding, some items for our dog, etc. I told my boyfriend several times that I was so excited for our first real Christmas together. Emphasis on our Christmas. And I told him over and over again how extremely romantic and intimate I thought that it was going to be. In my head, I figured we would simply have a low-key Christmas. Stay in, cook a big meal, mess around in bed for most of the day, and play video games or something. I don't know what came over him last night, but he decided to tell me my Christmas gift early. He spent a large portion of my gift budget on a plane ticket for my kid's sister, orchestrated and planned with my parents to send her to our apartment to spend Christmas with us. And she got my sister some gifts to open on Christmas morning so she wouldn't feel left out. He has a whole week planned for him, me, and my sister. It's all of our date ideas, but he included her. We'll go see Christmas movies and Christmas lights with my sister. He did get me a couple of things off my list, but they were none of the things that I actually needed. So my gift is that my sister is getting a vacation to my apartment. When he explained this to me, I just started crying. I feel so insanely frustrated. I love my sister and we're very close, but it's because I'm more like a parent to her. When I moved away and met my boyfriend, I had some independence from this. But now, something I was really looking forward to has been turned into a babysitting experience where I'm in charge of giving my sister a child's Christmas experience. I'm upset that my boyfriend doesn't know me well enough to know that this was actually one of the worst things that he could do for me. He knows I hate surprises and grand gestures. I told him this really ruined my Christmas, and it's something that can't be undone without upsetting my sister, whom I feel responsible for. My boyfriend is telling me that I'm being ungrateful and that he tried his best to be thoughtful, but I can't shake this feeling that this was the last thing from thoughtful. So, you literally flew to the other side of the country to get away from your parents' abuse, and then your boyfriend is like, hey, since I know that you were abused so much, I thought I would give you some extra abuse for Christmas. You know, like old times. Our next Reddit post is from Minimum Elk. So in the morning, I woke up to some quality time, wink wink, with my fiance before we start our day. I'm a 26-year-old guy and she's a 25-year-old woman. After we finished up, we laid down cuddling, and one thing led to another, and she was telling me something along the lines of, if you ever left me, I would make sure the other woman would have to work really hard to keep you, which she kind of implied to mean that she would break off my dick, which was unusual and funny, but I guess also a little crazy. So I don't know how the conversation turned to this, but she said, I have a confession to make. And I'm like, okay, with a big smile on my face. That's when she said that after we had a fight, I quote, it was to the point that I was so frustrated that when I went to make you dinner, I snuck something into your tea that makes you sleep, and I was watching you fight that sleep. Your eyes were so red, and when you did actually go to sleep, I sat down and watched you as I contemplated what to do about us and had so many thoughts were going through my mind while I watched you sleep for like a few hours. And I eventually got tired and just went to bed." End quote. The fear in my eyes were real as I just listened to my fiance admitting to being an effing psychopath and drugging me while she contemplated what to do with me. I know for a fact that I do not trust this woman anymore, and now I'm even more scared to sleep with her or to eat any of her food, all because we had an argument over her doing something wrong. We haven't spoken for an entire day since, even though she's made several attempts to talk. I'm afraid to even go to my friends, knowing they'll just laugh and say, "It's probably nothing, bro," and tell me to relax. Yeah, I wouldn't call this nothing. This is giving horror movie vibes. OP, you're lucky you didn't wake up chained in a basement. That was rSlash-relationships, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.